Hello and welcome back to the Sports Blitz. Now continuing, instead of going through all the rest of the teams, they're going to pick their team of choice. Who's going to go first? We'll start with Chris. Who's your team?
The Dallas Cowboys. They passed up on Rashard Mendenhall with the 22nd pick and went with Felix Jones at Arkansas, backup running back. My Steelers got Rashard, but I like Rashard Mendenhall as a better pick than Felix Jones. And they filled their need with Mike Jenkins at a cornerback out of South Florida. But they also picked up Pac-Man Jones, who I don't think is worth the money.
Not at all. All right, David?
I'm picking the Minnesota Vikings as my team of significance. They have Tavares Jackson, who's an up-and-coming quarterback in this league. He did a good job last year. They were on the brink of making the playoffs. They didn't, however. But now they took John David Booty from USC in the second round of the draft. It'll be a good thing to see whether John David Booty can compete with Tavares Jackson in the starting quarterback position. That's the thing I'm looking out for this offseason.
Alright, just one thing. John David Booty was taken in the secondary, a 4th round pick. Just pointing it out there. And my team of interest is the Jaguars. You pass on Jason Taylor, but then you trade up to get a defensive end in a Harvey out of Florida. I don't like this move. Maybe it'll pan out, but I think they should have traded for Taylor because they were willing to get that pick the Jaguars had. So that's my team of interest. Anthony?
All right. Now moving on to the next thing. The topic. Rodgers versus Beck. Who do you think is better?
No, under more pressure.
Under more pressure. Same thing. Take it easy.
I think Aaron Rodgers is possibly one of the most under-pressure players in this upcoming season. He has to fill in the shoes of Brett Favre, possibly one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He has to step in their shoes and succeed, or else he will be thrown out of Green Bay. And he also has to compete with Brian Brown for the starting quarterback position, who the Packers took in the first round. And it's going to be really fun to watch to see what happens in Green Bay.
Okay.
All right, man.
Now, while you take Rodgers, I'm going to tell why Beck is under more pressure. First of all, in a 1-15 team, the first person you're going to look at is the quarterback. And Beck didn't have a good year last year. Not only that, then they take a guy like Chad Henne, 4-year starter at Michigan. He's ready to play in this league. Not only that, Beck's not even a Parcells guy. Henne is. So I think Henne has the upper hand. I think he wins the job. I think Rodgers holds on to his job, at least for this year. But while I'm just saying, Beck, not a Bill Parcells guy, and when your consultant doesn't like the quarterback, you know he's out.
I would just like to point on that here. Beck was not the full-time starter last year. There were a total of maybe 3 or 4 stars.
But he still didn't get the job done. In a 1-15 record, he still didn't get the job done.
He didn't really have big opportunity. They were switching in and out of quarterbacks last year.
Right.
Okay, but he still lost some games. He couldn't play well in them.
Well, I think Aaron Rodgers is under most pressure. After having their team go so far in the playoffs, the best quarterback, arguably, in football ever, Brett Favre, he has to fill his shoes, and those are too big to fill. And football's taken very seriously in Green Bay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but Rodgers, I feel like, is going to win that competition to get the job. I don't think Beck can. I think Henne's a big, strong quarterback who can make the throws all over the field and can run a team. He's a team leader. He's a guy who can be...
Arm strength is not that great.
Yeah, and Rodgers is going to be a starting quarterback. He'll probably get the starting quarterback against Brom, but can he fill Brett Favre's shoes? That's the thing. That's why he's under pressure.
Okay, but then can Beck hold on to the job with Bill Parcells sitting right there saying he's not my guy? He took Chad Henne in the 2nd round. I mean, look at Henne, 4 years at Michigan, great 4 years besides the Appalachian State loss. I think you could. If Henne had just his senior season better, he's a first-round quarterback. He'll be a good pick. I like him. I think the Dolphins build around Chad Henne.
Okay. All proving their points. Okay. Coming up, we'll be talking about the Kentucky Derby and baseball after this on the Sports Blitz.